Today I thought I would show you how to make a no-bake flapjack, because I am not brilliant at getting flapjacks out of the oven before they go too crusty. I like a nice soft squidgy flapjack. So I have adapted this recipe that I found years and years and years and years and years ago, far too long ago for me to remember how far back. But it is really, really lovely, and you don't bake it. It's brilliant. So you cook it in a saucepan and you caramelise it, and be really, really careful because the stuff is molten. It is really hot, so please be careful. So first thing I'm going to do is actually going to get my mixture going. So I've got a big saucepan. Do not be tempted to put it into a small saucepan. I guarantee you'll have Mount Etna volcanoing over if you have it too small. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my saucepan on, not on my head, on the stove. And then I'm going to add into it margarine, and I will give you the amounts. I've got it written down here because I can never remember it. I have got 150 grams of margarine. You can use butter, but to be quite honest, margarine is perfectly fine in this. I've got block margarine. And then to this as well, you are going to also add 300 grams of, no, it's 150 grams of sugar. So I've got 150 grams of sugar. Now I am using brown sugar. You can use white sugar, you can use soft sugar, you can use Demerara sugar, you can use absolutely anything you want. It really doesn't matter. You can even use coconut sugar, and coconut sugar gives it a really lovely flavour, but I haven't got any of that. And then the last thing that we need to add into this saucepan is the golden syrup, and hopefully, because I've had it on, it's not going to melt my scales, because I'm a bit silly really. Turn it on. Okay, I am going to add in 300 grams of golden syrup. For you my American friends, it could be corn syrup, it could be maple syrup, it could be honey. You can use any of those. You can use agave, any of them, as long as it's a syrup. And I'm looking for 300 grams, and I'm getting my muscles going. And then the rest of it is really easy peasy. I probably should have taken Probably should have taken the lid off and made my life a lot easier, but I didn't because I'm silly. But 300 grams, God blimey. Who needs exercise when you can squeeze golden syrup out? So that is golden syrup. Onto the heat, give it a little stir to make it all melt. And then I want to show you the important bit, because we've got to set this for 3 minutes. We've got to boil this rapidly for 3 minutes. But it's when you start the timing process is the bit where if you don't do it properly, it will go wrong. Okay, it's dead simple, but it's that 3 minute on when it's ready to be boiled. So all I'm doing at the moment is just stirring everything and melting my margarine. Whilst that is going, I am going to show you the rest of the stuff that we need, because it's dead easy. Big bowl. To this, I am going to add some magical bran flakes. Anybody's, doesn't matter if it's Kellogg's or own brand, it doesn't matter. And you're looking for 160 grams. So 160 grams into my bowl. And you can't taste these when they actually go down, but they add a bit of goodness. Instead of having all naughty stuff, you can have some good stuff in here as well. So I've got 160 grams of bran flakes, and then I'm going to scrunch them up. I love this bit. I get rid of all my aggression. When I was going through my first divorce, I'm not going to get divorced a second time, but when I went through my first divorce, I used to make tons of bread because I would need to get rid of all that aggression. And I used to make loads of bread and knead it and beat 7 bells out of it. But now I'm a less angry person, so now I will just scrunch up bran flakes. So once they're scrunched up, you don't have to go mad, just like that, okay? We are going to add in coconut. I love coconut. Some people don't. You don't have to add it in if you really, really, really don't want to, but it is really good in this. So coconut is 60 grams. And then we want the bit that makes the flapjack. This is a no flapjack, but it is 420 grams, which is quite a lot. But it is going to make a load, because this is my husband's probably favourite cakey, biscuity thing that he absolutely loves. So I'm making this mainly for him, because he will just chomp through this. But the kids love it as well. Into this as well, I have got a good pinch of salt. So a pinch of salt. I'm still using my cheap sea salt. And then I'm also going to add in 100 grams of anything you want. So I'm using some raisins and some almonds and some cranberries and some seeds. But you can basically add in chocolate chips, you could add Smarties, you could add some dried fruit. You could even leave it out and add nothing at all. But that's a bit boring. And who wants boring? So just give it a little mix. And once that's mixed, I am going to show you the magic. And then I'm going to get She Who Shall Remain Nameless Until I Need Her, begins with an A and rhymes with Lexa. And I'm going to get her to time it for me, because I haven't got a watch on. I've never got a watch on. I used to, but not anymore. So this is almost melted, but it's not when you start timing. And once all the margarine has melted, take the spoon out, and then I'm going to show you this. Hang on. Can you see it is boiling right the way in the middle? Can you see that I've still got, it's not quite meeting in the middle. Right, now it's boiling properly. So Alexa, 3-minute timer please. Alexa, set alarm 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
And there she goes. Why she doesn't answer to please is beyond me. So it is boiling like stupid, and you don't want to touch this. You don't want to put spoons in. You just want to stay well away, because it is volcanic. When I was much younger, I worked in a restaurant, and I was making some caramel one day, and it looked like chocolate, and one of the chefs put his finger into it. Ouch, it hurt a great deal. You can see all the steam coming up, so you want to stay well away from this. This isn't something that you can let the kids do. Just let them do something else. And I'm going to do some marshmallow Christmas treats probably tomorrow, and I'm going to do it just for the kids so that parents don't get involved, because they can do this bit. So in about another 2 minutes it will be ready, and then I'm just going to pour it in, give it a stir, and I have got a tin ready and waiting. So I've got a big tin, roasting tin, paper inside it. If you don't want to use paper, you can just grease it with some margarine or some oil, and you can cut it up like that. But I like putting paper in the bottom of mine. And I think what I'm going to do as well, because my husband never really gets in touch with his feminine side because he's a bit of a butch bloke. So I'm going to put some girly sprinkles on the top of it, just to annoy him, because I'm like that. But you've got to have unicorn sprinkles, it's the law. Who cares about COVID-19? We need sprinkles. So, hopefully she will say something very quickly like 3-minute timer and go beep, beep, beep. But as soon as that is done, it smells lush. And this, as I said, this is the cooking process. So once this is mixed in the tin, banged in the fridge, as soon as it's cold and set, it's ready to go. So 3 minutes cooking, probably 5 minutes to make it. If you stick it in a freezer, it gets set even quicker, but it's ready normally in about half an hour, and it's just perfect. It's got the right amount of squidginess, and it's delicious. And the kids don't know that there's bran flakes in there. They think it's chocolate, and you can't taste them. They just bulk it out. So hopefully she will be finishing in a few seconds. We'll just keep standing here and twiddling my thumb. Would you like to learn some Spanish? Hola, ¿cómo está? Un conversa, por favor. That's about it. That's all I know. Actually, I know more, but I better not say it on this one. I know how to say hello, big boy, but it doesn't really translate into Spanish. But it's useful on occasion. Twiddle thumbs, twiddle fingers. No bird today either. She's flying in the kitchen. And we actually think that she is a he, because I looked it up yesterday, and the very bright cheeks might actually be a he. So Chicken Nugget might actually be a boy, which would explain stuff. Oh, there it goes. Right. Alexa, stop, please. Thank you. Heat off. Bubbly volcanic gloop into your big pan. Don't be tempted to get your finger in there to scrape it out. I guarantee it will hurt. So all in. Give it a really good mix. Oh, it smells so good. It will feel like you haven't quite got enough in there, but don't be tempted to try and add a bit more liquid or anything in, because it's got the right amount. So as soon as it's all mixed in and looks and smells gorgeous, into your tin. If you find any pockets of oats or bits that haven't got stuff on, then it doesn't really matter. You can just stir it in at this stage. Give it a mix now. I've got a couple, I think. There we go. So squash it down in the tin. And I forgot to do the next bit. I forgot to get the piece of paper out for the next bit. You can either squash it down with the back of your spoon. In fact, I'm just going to do that. It's probably easier. What I normally do is put a piece of paper on the top and squash it really hard down with my hands. But because I've forgotten to do it, and you might not have paper underneath, I'm not going to bother either. Don't be tempted to put your finger in this one. Get a spoon. Spoon off. Just like that. And squish it down. And as soon as you have squished it all the way down and compacted it a little bit, get some muscles going. You want even more workout. Who needs Joe Wicks when I can do it with my spoons? Although he is quite fit, I have to say. Okay, done. That is now ready to bang into the fridge. It's a great big panful. If you don't want to make such a big panful, then don't worry about it. Just cut the ingredients down by half. But I guarantee you'll love this, and the kids love it. And it's tasty, and it's much healthier than chucking them in front of the TV with a packet of crisps. There's bran flakes in there, and there's fruit and there's nuts. But you can put Smarties. Oh, before you put it into the fridge, I'm going to sprinkle mine with some rainbow unicorn sprinkles. Give them a pat, squash it down a bit. It's cool enough now to handle. It looks like that. Goes into the fridge and it's done. Speak to you soon. Bye.